So next we've got Suky and Maureen from the Rod Donald Banks Peninsula Trust. Good morning, welcome.
Kia ora, Andrew. My name is Maureen McCloy. I'm the chair of the Rod Donald Banks Peninsula Trust. Suky Thompson is our trust manager. The Rod Donald Trust is your trust. It's a CCO. And this year, we're 10 years old. We are humbled by our list of achievements and very proud of how effectively and efficiently we have done this. As set out in our submission, we see significant opportunities for what Banks Peninsula offers the city as we recover in this new COVID-19 world. In support of this, we have 4 points to make. Firstly, we encourage the council to keep the parks, the tracks and the marine structures operating and in good condition. Many of them are being used significantly more so post-COVID because people have discovered or rediscovered the joys of walking, biking and outdoor recreation. I've certainly seen that in my part of the city. The tracks are trampled. We encourage you to take every measure possible to protect what remains of our wild places, our biodiversity and our habitat. That includes pest control on Banks Peninsula and the Port Hills. Secondly, the Trust is currently negotiating the purchase of a block of land with outstanding landscape and amenity value in the Whakaraupo Littleton Basin with the aim of establishing a conservation park. We seek council support for this, including a financial contribution, but we do wish to discuss this further, but in a different setting, as it remains commercially sensitive. I'm going to ask Suky to speak to the second 2 points.
Thank you, Maureen, and thank you for having us here today. So a couple of points that I'd like to make is we'd like to develop a memorandum of understanding with the council to clarify the role of the Rod Donald Trust in relation to the head-to-head walkway around Littleton Whakaraupo and the Little River Rail Trail. And we see our role as one of negotiating access with private landowners to extend both of those walkways because they have the potential to be major recreational and low-carbon opportunities for our own people to enjoy health and well-being and for domestic visitors to the area and later laying the foundation for more international tourism. And our next point is we are going to be arranging a workshop from the Rod Donald Trust to discuss the use of unformed legal roads for recreation, and we'll be inviting elected representatives and key staff. There are an enormous number of unformed legal roads on Banks Peninsula, and we'd like to assist the council to develop a policy around the use of these public areas for walking and cycling, but in a way that is respectful of and compatible with the surrounding landowners who typically farm that land. And finally, on a personal note, as well as in my role with the Trust, I would like to thank the council for appointing a Banks Peninsula Ranger, John Fitch, who's been working recently in our area to the regional parks team and for our new community parks team at Devotional led by Kerry Bowen. We're really noticing the difference that these staff are making, and it's absolutely brilliant to have people who live in our community and are part of that community with their ear to the ground working on these vital assets. So thanks for that. It's made a massive difference.
So that's what we wanted to talk with you about.
Thank you very much. So that's left time for questions. Are there any questions? Anne?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Lovely to see you both. And this is slightly unrelated, but related. We talked about inviting the councillors for a walk with you to explore some of the Rod Donald Trust areas, and wondering if that's still something in process.
Sure. Speak to that one, Maureen. Yeah, we've got a board meeting tonight, and on the agenda is, well, it's winter now because we sort of missed our window with COVID-19. Yes. So when do we want to schedule that? So yes, expect an invite, and I'm glad that you were still keen. When do you think?
Oh, well, spring would be great.
Spring would be great.
When it's warmer and drier. Yeah. Thank you. Great.
Excellent. No further questions? All right. Thank you very much indeed for the presentation and for the submission. Thanks for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.